Well, thank you, Chair Murray and Ranking Member Burr, and welcome to Mr. Qual for being here today. Thank you for your interest and service, and thank your family as well.
Thank you.
I want to start with a question about for-profit colleges. One key priority for me is to hold predatory for-profit colleges accountable so that students get the results that they were promised and that they have paid for. That's why I worked with Senator Durbin last Congress to introduce a comprehensive bill to strengthen consumer protections in higher education, the Protect Student Act. I'm pleased that the American Rescue Plan that the President signed into law last month included a provision from the Protect Students Act to help stop for-profit colleges from taking advantage of veterans and service members. But there is still much work to be done. For example, the Protect Students Act would also strengthen enforcement when students are defrauded and improve oversight of the process used by for-profit colleges that seek to convert to nonprofit status. Mr. Qual, how can the administration and Congress work together to hold predatory for-profit colleges accountable and provide recourse to students who have been defrauded?
Senator, thanks so much for your leadership on this issue. And that legislation, I think, is a really important list of things that Congress could do to ensure that students aren't left with debts they can't afford to repay, and that colleges aren't allowed to shift the cost of illegal conduct onto students. And many of the proposals in that bill, of course, affect all kinds of colleges. We've seen disproportionate abuses in for-profit colleges in the past. So I appreciate your partnership on that really important piece of legislation, and congratulate you on the inclusion of the 90-10 provision in the American Rescue Plan, and also some of the steps that the administration has taken in the area of defrauded students.
Well, thank you. I look forward to continuing work with you on those issues. Let me talk a little bit, too, about the realities of today's students, because you just said a moment ago the for-profit sector is one area where students don't always get what they paid for, but we also have to think hard about the situation that today's college students are in. They have numerous demands on their time, and they often struggle to actually complete their academic programs. One of my concerns is that institutions don't always have all the tools that they need to help students succeed. So I recently joined Senators Young, Kaine, and Cassidy in reintroducing the Bipartisan Innovation Zones Act, a bill to improve an existing program that colleges use to implement innovative programs to better serve their students. I also have a bill to support competency-based education so that more students have access to programs that actually measure their mastery of skills and knowledge rather than the hours they spend in their seat. That goes a little bit to Senator Kaine's point about 8 weeks versus 15 weeks. We really should be looking at giving students flexibility when they are completing their programs and really measuring what they've learned, not just how long they've been in their seats. So how do you think the Department of Education can support responsible innovation in higher education to meet the needs of today's college students?
Thank you for the question, Senator. I think those pieces of legislation address some really important topics, and competency-based education, for example, has the potential to help students complete their degrees faster while saving them money, and it could also be a way of ensuring that they're learning what it is that they're supposed to learn. Unfortunately, our rules of the existing financial aid programs were really written with the traditional model in mind, and there are a lot of hurdles for institutions like Southern New Hampshire who are trying to do things in new and different ways, and would be eager to work with you to find ways to make new ways of doing things possible.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Last topic. We also have to work on expanding higher education programs to engage workers who have fallen out of the labor force or who are working but need help in making progress in their career. They might need a new credential. So I recently reintroduced the Gateway to Careers Act with Senators Young, Kaine, and Collins. This bipartisan bill would support career pathway programs where students can earn an income while they're also completing educational credentials. The bill also includes important wraparound supports for learners who face barriers to completion, like help accessing affordable housing or covering transportation costs. So do you agree that it's important to support these kinds of programs so that our most vulnerable workers have access to educational opportunities to help them succeed?
I do, and I've seen a lot of colleges have success with strategies like the ones you've mentioned.
Thank you. I look forward to working with you. Thank you, Madam Chair.